Hey guys, it's Rob here. This month marks the 48th anniversary of the opening of the first Chuck E. Cheese location, and to celebrate, I'm doing San Jose month, where we'll be covering all three San Jose locations. This week, we're starting with the location on Tully Road, which is one of the biggest Chuck E. Cheese locations ever. I want to go ahead and thank Otter for being the original requester of this location, and also thank all of these other people for also requesting it. As usual, I've gathered information from multiple different sources, which I'll be linking in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as next week we'll be continuing San Jose month with Kuser. Anyways, let's get into the history of Chuck E. Cheese at the Tully Road location. The 2445 Fontaine Road location, commonly referred to as Tully Road, opened in December of 1981 as a Pizza Time theater, opening with a balcony stage. It's unknown what guest star they opened with, though. At the time of opening, this was the largest Chuck E. Cheese location to ever open, boasting a square footage of 35,000 square feet. I'm unsure if this is just one floor or all three, but either way, this is quite the large store. This location also has three floors, with only the first two being publicly accessible. The second floor features two cabaret areas, and the third floor was home to Chuck E. Cheese's University, which was an employee training program of sorts. The store was actually a former toy store called Magic Village, hence why it was built the way it was. The glass displays on the outside featured large toy soldiers, and one of these houses a giant Chuck E. Cheese statue created by Jeff Trutell, having Chuck sit on a piece of cheese. It's one of a kind in terms of design, as the only other location to feature statues had different designs, making this a very cool piece for this location to have, and one of its defining traits. As for their cabaret acts, this location had three, those being the King, Dolly Dimples, and the Beagles. The King and Dolly were the acts on the second floor, while the Beagles were actually put in one of the glass displays outside. This was a franchise store, and still is today, under MCA and Associates. They also had multiple murals with all the different Pizza Time theater characters on them, alongside one with Disney characters on them, which is very cool, and it looks nice, but yeah, this wouldn't last, as they were forced to remove it in 1989 due to a cease and desist letter from Disney. We get our first piece of footage from 1981, where the exterior is shown off, with the typical Pizza Time theater sign being used here. We can also see the Beagles in the glass display, like I mentioned earlier. Heading inside, we get to see one of the second floor cabaret acts, that being Dolly Dimples, who looks to be in good shape, with no issues I can see here. We also get a look at the stage, which is also in good shape, again with no issues I can see here. Harmony Howlett was their guest star at this point, meaning they likely open with her. We also get to see the other parts of the showroom, where we could see their flag wavers. Although we only have one set here, this location was one of a handful to have two sets of warblettes, which makes sense considering the size of the store. We also get a look at their skee ball lanes, plus an attraction called Pasquale's Punch Bag, which I've never seen before, and simply consists of a bunch of punching bags. They would receive Helen by 1984, as all other locations would do. 1988 footage gives us another good look at the stage, where we see that they're in okay shape, though there appear to be some movements out, such as Jasper's mouth. We also see both sets of warblettes, confirming they had two sets. We also see some of the rides, their ball pit area, and a mural in the back, with one part of it having fish on it. By 1990, the location would convert their balcony stage into a C stage, which we see in footage from January of 1990. We don't get a good look at them, so I can't judge their condition very well off of this. We also get to see some of the games, some of the rides, their ball pit again, and their prize counter. We can also see this decor piece of Chuck riding on a skateboard, which isn't a piece I've ever seen before, and is certainly an odd thing for this variation of Chuck to be doing. We get more footage from 1990 that shows off the Beagles, who are now relocated inside the store, and Dolly Dimples, and while we don't get enough footage of the Beagles to properly judge their condition off of, Dolly does get enough, with just her right arm appearing to not work. Other new things we get to see are more of the games, a Chuck E. Cheese sign in the game room, and their glass display, which now holds multiple toys in it. We even get more footage from late 1990, where we get to see their clapperboard, which they still had at this point. The C stage again, though no footage of them performing this time, a small look at their food and beverage area, and also see even more of the mural from earlier, showing some hills, plus a jungle, which feature characters such as Munch, as well as a dog that appears to be one of the Beach Bowsers, though I'm not 100% sure on that. This is one of the most unique things I've seen in a Chuck E. Cheese, and essentially takes the artwork seen at Lake Forest and dials it up by a ton, using the large space at the store to make something that looks pretty cool. 1992 footage shows of the showroom area, where we see that Helen had received her Munch's Make-Believe Band cosmetics by this point. I'm not sure there's enough footage here to judge the bot's condition, but from what I've seen, it seems like some movements are out, such as one of Pasquale's arms. We also get to see their Chuck and Jasper walkarounds, with Chuck being the late 80s to early 90s head with a red derby and Coach Chuck attire on, and Jasper appearing to be the 90s one, though it's too dark for me to know for sure. By 1993, which we see in footage from that time, the location will receive the 1986 remodel, which would see the walls be painted white, added newer decor to replace the older decor, and removed all of the cabaret acts. They also would receive multicolored booths, which you got to see later, and had murals added to the store, specifically around the counter area. Finally, they would also receive a 2-stage, replacing their C stage. It also looks to be in good shape, with no issues I can see here. Munch notably has a body turn here as well. We also see that they still had their flag wavers by this point. You get to see a couple of their walkarounds, those being a 90s Pasquale one, a Chuck walkaround, which is the same outfit as before, though with the 90s head, and their Jasper walkaround, which also looks to be the same one as before. We also get to see their prize counter again. 1995 footage shows off some of their rides, the ball pit, and a Chuck telephone, which has what appears to be the same Chuck mold for the carousel rides on top of it, making for a strange game, I guess? I don't know what else this could be called. By 1998, which we can see in footage from that year, the location remodeled again, receiving parts of the Operation Thumb Chuck remodel, receiving a new Chuck E. Cheese's exterior for the exterior sign, adding newer decor to replace the older decor, such as a large beverages sign, and added sky tubes, which were placed above the stage, making for quite a unique setup. They would also keep the Chuck E. Cheese's sign in the showroom. We also get to see their 2-stage in action again, where it looks to be in not too great of shape, with Chuck not moving much. It's hard to tell from this far how well the other characters are doing, so let's move on. We can see that they still had their flag wavers by this point, and also their Chuck walk around, being the 90s head with a red derby in the blue and white athletic attire. In 2000, the 2-stage would be removed, and in its place, a Studio C stage, commonly referred to as the Alpha stage, was installed. The store would also remodel again around this time, where they would remove their showroom walls and replace older decor with newer decor, including a few massive posters, which you'll get to see later. With those new posters came duplicates as well, as most posters now had them. Instead of being thrown away, some of the older decor would be placed upstairs on the 3rd floor. They would also still keep the Pizza Time Theater sign up. The Chuckbot would also be placed elsewhere in the location after removal, being placed in one of the glass displays, specifically the one the Beagles used to reside in. By 2007, which we see from photos from that time, Tully would receive some parts of the Kolchak reconfiguration, those being painting some of the walls purple, which would actually be reversed in later years with some being repainted the white, as well as adding more newer decor to replace some of the older decor. The Chuck statue closed would be repainted to purple to better match the newer Chuck. We also see their Studio C stage in these photos, where he's in full cool Chuck attire by this point, including the cap. We also get a look at their interactive console and camera. There's also a couple of other unique aspects that get shown off well here, such as this unique beverages sign, which is above a thumb Chuck sign in the style of ones typically seen on exteriors, and these 3 giant posters of Munch, Chuck, and Helen, and their must-see TVs, which look different from their usual ones. 2010 footage gives us a small look at the showroom, where we could see their interactive console and camera area, which were both still around by this point. We also get a look at their Chuck walk around, being the standard Avenger one. Another video from 2010 gives us some good shots of the location, and shows their Chuck bot as well, still in full Chuck attire. We also see their Chuck walk around again, which is in a sports jersey, though I couldn't tell you what team it is. A photo from 2011 gives us a look at this round Chuck sign, with their slogan on top, and the location City at the bottom. Over the years, posters and decor would move around the store, which lasted until 2015 to 2016, when it would stop. 2016 footage gives us our first proper footage of the bot, where it looks to be in a bit of rough shape, with his nose losing a bit of its paint, plus a few movements appearing to not work, such as his nose movement. He's also in Avenger Chuck attire by this point, though without a cap. A store tour from 2017 shows off some unique bits, plus new things, such as these posters that are commonly referred to as Star Stage posters, which they now had. We can also see the Pizza Time Theater sign that they kept around all this time. We also see their San Jose sign, which now has a new Rockstar front on it. By mid-2019, the location will receive the 2.0 remodel, receiving a simplistic Rockstar exterior, painting all the walls white, adding newer decor to replace the older decor, and removing the Studio C stage for a 2019 model dance floor as well as the Circles of Light stage, the variant without a bot. A few older elements would be kept around though, those being the giant Chuck statue, the glass display with the older decor, as well as the Chuck bot, the dim lighting, the Pizza Time Theater sign in the game room, and some older games. The majority of the older decor, alongside parts of the stage, would be stored on the 3rd floor. In 2020, due to financial issues caused by a certain pandemic, Tully would sell off some of their older decor in storage, as well as the Chuck Cyberamic. Between 2023 and 2024, the location will begin installing an elevator in order to more easily access the 2nd floor, and I believe it has been completed now. As of April of 2025, the location remains like this, having the 2.0 remodel, though not having a 2021 model dance floor, though I'm unsure as to when it was installed, and the Circles of Light stage. As for the Cyberamics, it's unknown what happened to most of them, though Chuck is in the hands of a private collector after being sold off in 2020. As for the Studio C-Bot, it's also unknown what happened to it. In conclusion, Tully is an amazing location, having so many different unique features. Just to list the big ones, it's the only three-story location to exist as far as I'm aware, one of the largest locations to ever exist, though not the largest, having a one-of-a-kind Chuck statue which it still has today, and having multiple unique pieces of art throughout the years. Overall, this was such a fun location to go over, and probably is one of my favorite locations. Thank you guys for watching this video. After covering Tully, I have to say that I've grown an even bigger appreciation for it, seeing how cool the layout is, plus all the unique features it had over the years. Next week, we'll be continuing San Jose month with Kusur, the second ever Chuck E. Cheese location. There's more to it than that, of course, but I'll leave next week's video to explain all of that. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're notified when it drops. If you want to find me elsewhere, I've got a Discord server and Instagram page, both linked in the description down below. That's gonna do it for now though, so God bless, and I hope you all have a blessed day.